Dadsak John Cordillera Day son Sikayon Amin. Here's your weekly SunStar Baguio Newsbits. A look at this week's headlines.
Baguio wants tree cutting stopped. Council votes market-private-public partnership. Car renews call for autonomy. Vista trees valued at 154 million pesos. PNP to evict Camp Dangwa settlers. Sona film crew shoots in Benguet. Car logs 79.6% COVID-19 recovery rate. And PNP notes more rebel surrender.
And for the details. Councilors Levi Lloyd Orcales, Joel Alangsab, and Arthur Aladeo moved to impose a 5-year tree-cutting moratorium for residential, business, and public areas in an ordinance proposed this week. This report from Maria Lana Katahan.
Orcales said it is sad to note there are scheduled tree cutting in the city annually and lately every month, pushing the need for a stop of activities immediately, adding the drastic measure is needed to preserve the city's remaining urban forests. Last week, DNR Cordillera Regional Director Ralph Pablo said an additional 75 more trees will be cut as part of the last phase of the Moldex Realty project in Marcos Highway. At present, there is 19.7% Benguet pine trees of the total trees in the city, while the remaining 80.3% are species of ornamental and exotic trees. Pablo briefed the City Council on the permits given to the Philippine Military Academy for its parking building, which entailed the cutting of 53 trees, as he did a rundown of cutting permits given to proponents, developers in the city. He also informed the City Council that even without the blessing of President Rodrigo Duterte, the city can issue a resolution imposing a tree-cutting moratorium. Maria Elena Katahan, SunStar Baguio.
A private-public partnership was deemed the best option for Baguio City to develop the public market. Maria Lana Katahan returns.
Among those options include development via loan, equity, and the PPP option, which eventually won over the majority of legislators who voted Monday night. 7 councilors voted in favor of the PPP deal, comprised of Councilors Joel Alangsab, Benny Bumogao, Michael Lawana, Levi Lloyd Orcales, Fred Bagbagen, Francisco Roberto Ortega VI, and Lea Fariñas. Ortega and Fariñas, who both formally voted to go for a loan, flipped their votes at the last minute, enabling the PPP option to dominate. Voting in favor of a government-funded program through social equity were Councilors Popo Cosalan, Vladimir Cayabas, Arthur Aladeo, Maylenia Ranon, while Councilor Filian Wagan Allen voted for a loan. Councilor Betty Lourdes Tabanda abstained, while Councilor Elaine Sembrano chose to step out of the session when the voting commenced. After the decision on the mode of development to the public market area, this will then start the process of awarding the original proponent status to either SM Prime Holdings or Robinsons Corporation. Maria Elena Katahan, SunStar Baguio.
Local leaders reiterated the call for Cordillera Administrative Region's bid for autonomy. This report from Loren Alimondo.
During the celebration of the region's 33rd founding anniversary on Wednesday, guest speaker Agriculture Secretary William Dar said it has been 33 years since President Corazon Aquino signed Executive Order No. 220 creating Cordillera. However, a bill for CAR's autonomy has yet to be passed by Congress. 2 organic acts for an autonomous region were enacted for Cordillera back in 1990 and 1998, but was rejected in 2 plebiscites. Dar said although both plebiscites failed, it did not discourage another attempt of leaders in the Cordillera for another bid for the autonomy of the region. Mountain Province Congressman Maximo Dalog Jr. disclosed House Bill 5687 was filed in Congress last year, backed by Cordillera representatives. Dar said uniting the villages, barangays, municipalities, and provinces, conceptions and vision of autonomy into one that is generally binding contributes and empowers the Cordillerans' quest for autonomy, noting more are in favor of autonomy as shown in the latest survey in 2019, according to the National Economic Development Authority in Cordillera. Lord Elemondo, SunStar Baguio.
On the heels of a tree-cutting moratorium filed in the city, Vista Residences Incorporated chopped the remaining 24 trees in its private lot in Outlook Drive, beating the expiration of the special private land timber permit set on July 15, 2020.
At the council meeting on July 13, the University of the Philippines Baguio biology professor Dr. Zenaida Bawanan valued the 54 fully grown trees cut at 154.3 million pesos and warned an ecological collapse for the city, which has exceeded its carrying capacity and dwindled forest covers. DENR Cordillera Director Ralph Pablo said Vista Residences Corporation has written his office asking for a representative to be present when the cutting of the remaining 24 trees is to be carried out, citing the validity of tree cutting permits as well as compliance to requests made by City Mayor Benjamin Magalong to double the mandated tree donations. Bawanan said that based on the Hamilton Urban Forest Strategy Plan, a forest cover of 30% of the land area is recommended for a city to be resilient and sustainable, and Baguio City only has a remaining 8.1% old-growth pines and 19.8% production pines that stand as of 2006. She recommends the city to have a longer moratorium on tree cutting, saying the city is already highly urbanized and all existing structures already answer to the needs of the people. Pablo added, most of the remaining trees in the city are set on private and titled lands, with a few resting on government lots, school compounds, and road right-of-way. He recommended the zoning approach in preserving the remaining forest covers and tree count of the city.
Amid a pandemic, the Police Regional Office Codillera is asking settlers within Camp Batodangwa to vacate their homes within 60 days. This report from Jonathan Yanes.
Procor Public Information Officer Police Major Carolina Lacuata confirmed the Regional Command is in the process of recalling and reacquiring lot areas with structures set to be used as offices. Lacuata confirmed the letter delivered June 24 to around 180 illegal settlers within Camp Town was signed by Deputy Regional Director for Administration Police Colonel Lawrence Kopp stated inhabitants are given 2 months to leave and self-demolish their structures or be evicted and charged. The amount of compensation offered by the Regional Command depended on the kind of structures constructed, which are not to be demolished but converted as offices of the different departments of Procor. The letter sent to settlers of 180 structures said based on Presidential Proclamation 157, the 75,959 square meter land area of Procor where these structures are presently located and occupied is reserved for military purposes, to which the said proclamation takes precedence over any title. She added, based on Procor records, most of the inhabitants within the land area of the command have been residing there since the 1970s and 80s and are relatives of former employees working at Camp Dangwa. Jonathan Llanes, SunStar Baguio.
La Trinidad Mayor Romeo Salda confirmed that film director Joyce Bernal and her crew shot scenes in the town for the State of the Nation address of President Rodrigo Duterte. Lorena Limondo returns.
Salda, in a statement released on Sunday, said the team of Bernal shot for 15 minutes in Barangay Bahong, adding the shoot focused on the scenic landscape of the barangay, and it was for official purposes and no fees were collected. Bernal's letter stated that they are aware that the municipality is strictly taking precautionary measures as to the health crisis, and there will be no filming that will be conducted in any public place, nor the group will interact with the locals. Salda said their decision to allow the film crew to shoot and take pictures for the sauna was based on assurances given by Bernal and offices of the ILG-CAR and Benguet Governor, giving the go-ahead signal for the sauna shoot. Last week, the team was asked to live in Sagada Mountain Province, Banawe, Ifugao, despite having travel papers and authorization from Malacanang. Since the start of the community quarantine in March, tourism-related activities in all Benguet towns are closed to tourists. Lorna Edmondo, SunStar Baguio.
Cordillera's COVID-19 recovery rate remains at 79.6% following an increased daily testing in the region. This report from Joven Peralta.
Dr. Amelita Pangilinan, Department of Health Regional Director, attributed the high recovery rate on the management system applied by DOH, agencies of government, local government units, including the adherence to the COVID-19 health protocols by residents instituted in the region. Pangilinan added, immediate identification of suspect and probable cases with the help of contact tracers in every municipalities and provinces is very critical. Cordillera's confirmed COVID-19 cases as of Thursday is at 142, with a 25.66% increase from the 113 since June 30 with 2 deaths. Out of the 142 cases, 27 are still admitted and all are in stable condition in the following health facilities. Joven Peralta, SunStar Baguio.
Men believed to be members of the New People's Army Kilusang Larangang Guerrilla formally surrendered to the Benguet Provincial Police Office and the Department of Interior and Local Government on Wednesday morning. This report from Jeannie Cole Cortez.
The surrenderers were only identified as Karemo and Kabayan. Procor Deputy Director for Operations Colonel John Chua explained, the surrender was formally done after coordination with the Intelligence Service of the Philippine National Police, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Naval Intelligence, local government units, and agencies of government which are set to assist in the provisions of livelihood assistance to the two. Chua believes that with the recent surrender, many of their colleagues in the movement are now in the process of withdrawing support to avail of the livelihood packages offered by the government. DILG Benguet Provincial Director Rufina Fegcam said, their surrender is an example of the government's sincerity in helping them to go back to their normal lives. Benguet PPO Director Colonel Elmer Ragay said that 6 surrenderies in 2019 and another 18 this year will be given livelihood and government support. Jeannie Cole Cortez, SunStar Baguio.
For more updates, visit us at our website and our official social media accounts. Working from home in Baguio City, I'm Conway Copas, and this is SunStar Baguio Weekly Newsbits. Happy Cordillera Day!